Now, if you don't think this planet has some unbelievable creatures, check this out.
People have been scanning the surface of a Scottish lake for centuries in search of the Loch Ness monster.
In 1933, manager of a local hotel claimed to have seen a large whale-like creature splashing about on the surface. In the 90 years since, thousands of eyewitnesses have claimed to have seen something.
Do you think there's a monster in these waters?
Oh, it's not a case of I think there is. I know there is.
Of all the countless animal species that are thought to have gone extinct for sure, it so happens that nature's ecosystem wasn't done with some of them. Join with us today to get to see animals that were believed to have gone extinct.
It is undeniably the largest discovery, well, probably 112 years since.
Until they were caught alive on camera. Of all the insect species that are known to exist today, none of them are this huge, probably, because this one is prehistoric. In March 2022, numerous Ohio residents on different occasions captured a video of this very large insect that was first seen on rooftop and later crossing an empty road in the dead of night. The alien-like creature resembles that of a huge spider, with several legs or tentacles and a large tail on its back. Creeped out by its appearance, most of the pedestrians and onlookers quickly left the area to maintain safe distance. The nature of this spider-like creature remains a total mystery to this day. Appearing Loch Ness. This is another one of those moments that prove not everything that's said to be folklore is always true. A random source shared this footage on his YouTube channel showing the appearance of a large creature in a sea off the coast of Mexico. It clearly had a long, visible neck emanating from within the water, which immediately ruled out the possibility of it being a whale. A small-sized yacht that was seen close by didn't spot the mysterious animal, but did, however, show the comparative size. The recorder filmed the scene along with several other curious onlookers, but never got the luck to get close enough to investigate. Disappeared species surfaces.
Look at this! Oh my God!
In 2019, a Chilandas fantacisus species of tortoise was found on Fernandina Island. Not knowing the exact details of the species, it was handed over to scientists from Yale University, who identified it. This giant tortoise found in the Galapagos Islands has been confirmed as a species thought to be extinct a century ago.
It is undeniably the largest discovery for turtles and tortoises in, well, probably 112 years since the one and only Fernandina specimen was collected.
It is almost a miracle that this species still managed to survive, especially considering how harsh their living conditions can be, not to mention from predators and humans meddling with nature. The Galapagos National Park is preparing an expedition to search for more of the giant tortoises in an attempt to save the species.
After 112 years!
Encontramos! Oh my God! Folklore comes to reality. Mermaids can be named to be the undefeated champion of the world in playing hide and seek, which makes this discovery quite a big deal. A diver, after having placed several cameras at not too distant depths to monitor fish activity,
which I think we need to do more of. Place more cameras into the water, into the ocean, at whatever depths that we can get them. We'll discover a lot more, I promise you.
Instead, noticed that one of his cameras recorded a mermaid-like entity. Only seconds after the mermaid made an entry dive into the water, entering the camera frame, and was getting closer, the battery unfortunately ran out, having the footage abruptly cut off. Living baby T-Rex. If anyone tells you that dinosaurs aren't a thing anymore, this piece of evidence would beg to differ. An old night vision camera that was placed in a forest in Texas that recorded the sudden appearance of dinosaurs walking towards the camera. It was first thought to be a Velociraptor due to its smaller than average size of TRex. until the view from another angle of the camera confirmed it to be an actual T-Rex, but perhaps a juvenile. If this living fossil gets old and big enough, it definitely would be the largest, most frightening predator on land. Rare black leopard.
The black leopard, also known as the Black Panther, was photographed in Kenya, which marks the first recorded sighting in 100 years.
In a groundbreaking discovery, a wildlife photographer captured the first photographic evidence.
Beautiful, but yet so deadly. Like looking at a black, if you didn't know any better, you'd be like, oh my God, I would love that as a pet. Until you get it home and it just tears you to shreds, you know? But one of the most beautiful animals on this planet.
Of a black leopard in Africa in over a century, using a Cam Trappin's camera trap strategically placed along the leopard's path in Kenya, he initially faced disappointment as nights passed without success. Persistence paid off when the photographer finally glimpsed the elusive creature through his camera's lens, its distinctive melanistic coat standing out against the darkness. This sighting, confirmed by the San Diego Zoo, marks a milestone in conservation efforts.
We found that we had a black leopard, a melanistic individual, show up on our cameras,
highlighting the rarity and beauty of the black leopard. Being overwhelmed by the achievement, continued to document the leopard over subsequent days, amazed by the unprecedented quality of his images. Tiny Velociraptor. Even if for a second it is admitted that this was some large lizard, the manner of walking using hind legs puts a giant question mark. An unnamed source who is filming where a tiny velociraptor can be seen to appear for a second or two to be sprinting away just a few feet away from a cat.
Yo, what in the Jurassic Park is going on here? Ain't no way. I thought that was like a mouse or a rat at first. And I was about to say, yo, they calling that a raptor. A rat is a raptor now? Okay. But no, my eyes are not deceiving me, fam. What in the Jurassic Park is going on here?
Now, this extinct animal wasn't found unexpectedly after getting caught on camera. Rather, the recorder shared that he is involved in animal breeding business, with details that were never shared. This would explain one of them running around casually like any other pet, and with even the cat not being surprised, further testifies this case. Gario Crocodile. Seeing two very different types of crocodiles seems like gharials are the old versions of crocodile species. Gario crocodiles are among the longest of all living crocodile species, dating back to the prehistoric era. Their jaws are slimmer than the usual crocodiles, having only a long, narrow snout with 110 sharp and interlocking teeth. These species of crocodile have strength in their teeth rather than just the jaws, making them well adapted to catching fish. Gario crocodiles are 2 to 6 meters in length, depending on the gender. They are usually found in Southeast Asian rivers. Unfortunately, the population of this crocodile species have declined sharply and have been listed as critically endangered.
What do we do to have to deserve to deal with crocodiles, alligators, and this species here? What did we do to have to deserve that, man? Fam!
Unknown furry carcass. Honestly, this looks like almost a werewolf from one angle and a Montauk monster on the other. A really old footage dating back to 1959, filmed at showing the carcass of a humanoid animalistic creature. Largely, it looks to have features of a canine, but also that of a human being. This monstrously creature had dark fur, or was the result of third-degree burns. As you can see, most of its limbs were also missing that may have been either cut off or turned into ashes. Till date, the nature of this furry carcass and how it got here remains a mystery. Last living canine giant.
Here is probably one of the last dire wolves on Earth.
Just when everyone thought of this animal to be the only thing of the past, the sudden resurfacing of this one baffled everyone. A video shared on YouTube dating December 2020 showed a dark-furred dire wolf moving and jumping all around the area that was said to be the last living of its kind. Dire wolves are known to be large, prehistoric canines that lived in North and South America during the Pleistocene epoch, and previously were thought to have gone extinct some 10,000 years ago until this footage. Had there been two of them and a pair, the chances of restoring the species would have been a possibility.
Jesus, stay away from it too.
Napping dino giant. As big and vicious that TRex dinosaurs are usually portrayed to be, this seems to be the exact opposite. A group of curious bystanders, after finding a large T-Rex that was napping by the side of the pool, started recording it in utter curiosity. One of them mentioned that this historic giant was half unconscious after being shot with a tranq dart. The broken fence and the partial mess that was created in and around the pool collaborates with the claim. While this was said to be in a controlled environment, how it would react after being back on its feet and at its 100%. Prehistoric cargo. If this weren't a real dinosaur and some modeled decoy, why would its jaws be tightly tied up? A driver on the road noticed this unbelievable sight of a trailer truck transporting an adult TRex on the back. The large prehistoric predator's jaws and entire body was bound on the trailer, so well aside from being unconscious, almost as if no one wanted to take any risks of it getting up in the midst of the journey. While the details remain sketchy, this is speculated to be transported by the government without public knowledge, aside from the ones that saw it on the road.
Yeah, if that was real, how do you think you're gonna hide that without public knowledge? Really? Really? You think you're gonna get that past us? Come on, man. Something that big? Nah, stop it. Stop it without public knowledge. Man, please. People from probably 2 states away can see this thing on the road.
Possible Terrasaur. Bats, eagles, or vultures, none of them are known to behave in such an aggressive way as this. 2 young men were casually walking past a tree until they noticed unusual-looking aerial creatures that were seen on the branches. Seconds after they got closer to investigate, they suddenly opened their wings and started chasing them. Judging from the extremely large wings and the confronting behavior, this could be a flying dinosaur called the Terrasaur. After all, if we can see several cases of dinosaurs walking around, this shouldn't be surprising. Pair of Triceratops. This time, it wasn't just a single dinosaur, but a pair of them casually crossing the road. While traveling through the countryside, a family encountered 2 massive Triceratops dinosaurs that passed in front of their vehicle. Realizing the difficulty of explaining this to everyone, they recorded footage of the fully grown Triceratops as they wandered past. The parents observed that the dinosaurs appeared to be under the influence of some tranquilizer, which seemed to suppress its aggressive behavior. It also appeared that these supposedly extinct dinosaurs were escaping from a nearby animal holding facility. Sprinting Velociraptor. As big, fast, and strong the Velociraptors are, having them multiplying exponentially would be a huge cause of concern. A trekker that was adventuring close to a long-abandoned rocky cave in the middle of the forest in Michigan, where he noticed an adult-sized Velociraptor that appeared for a millisecond as it was passing.
Now we all know in the movies that would be the setup, right? That would be the setup. That one would go cross, get your attention, while the other 2 come from the sides and get you, man. That would be the whole setup. You can see it clear as day.
This very moment, according to him, felt straight out from a horror movie. since this dino kept circling around him while staying covered. At this point, the trekker, without panicking, cuts the footage in an effort to make his way out of the area to avoid any trouble. Gigantic under mystery. When it comes to deep blue seas, a lot lives within its darkened depths that we can never know of until we see firsthand. A live feed video camera under an offshore oil rig surprised all of its viewers as this gigantic dinosaur-era marine animal was caught on camera, moving past the camera. According to some experts, this could be a plesiosaur species of dinosaurs that was thought to have gone extinct along with its peers on the land. However, it is also very likely possible that some of them that took refuge deep down in the water may have survived and lived on. Loch Ness Monster.
For hundreds of years, visitors to Scotland's Loch Ness have sworn that they have seen a monster coming up from the depths.
In January 2023, a giant unidentifiable monstrous creature was spotted off the coast of North Carolina. Daniel Griffin, who recorded the incident, reported that the creature closely resembled a dinosaur.
Quick, and I said, oh my gosh, it was kind of like we saw a dinosaur.
As the video went viral, many speculated it could be the legendary Loch Ness Monster, while others thought it might be a giant crocodile. Ron McGill, a wildlife expert from a Miami zoo, suggested that it was most likely a small whale surfacing. But to date, no one knows for sure.
And they see, what did I see? And they see it a second or two, and all of a sudden their imagination starts getting bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden it's the Loch Ness Monster!
Walking woolly mammoth.
There is some video that has gone viral on the internet. It claims to show an animal that went extinct 4,000 years ago, still alive and in the wild.
Till date, only the remains of a woolly mammoth had been seen. This changes now. On the 10th of February 2012, a YouTube video went viral as it showed footage of what claimed to be a living woolly mammoth that was walking in the wild. Even though these ancient elephant giants came long after supposed dinosaur extinction, the viewers were more shocked by this clip, knowing that woolly mammoths have been thought to have gone extinct some 4,000 years ago. Another zoomed-in version of trail camera footage was also shared showing a much smaller mammoth that was reported to be the baby mammoth. Existing Sabertooth. There was a point when saber-toothed predators were almost thought to never have existed, until clips like these started coming out. A wildlife photographer who took an adventure across the African wilderness filmed and shared a small clip of a saber-toothed predator that one of the locals in an undisclosed village in Africa had. The animal that was locked in the cage looked to be a juvenile, but still as terrifying as these predators were said to be. In another instance, another saber-toothed predator was seen, with this one being much bigger that was tied up while being marched across the Wilshire Boulevard in Los Angeles. Backyard baby dinosaur.
What is this? A Florida homeowner thinks it looks like a baby dinosaur, just like something out of Jurassic Park.
Just by the size and nature of this late-night mystery, a dinosaur is the—
I can definitely see why. I for sure see why. for sure see why they think that. I would have that same conclusion after watching that video a couple times.
The only possibility of this. On June 11, 2021, a mysterious creature was caught on a surveillance camera that was triggered by motion sensors as it started running across a yard in Florida. While the footage left every viewer stumped, the homeowner theorized it might be a baby raptor, or perhaps even a T-Rex dinosaur, an animal that many on social media supported. Despite going massively viral, many such mysteries from the past have never been solved. Now, new theories are emerging about this spooky video.
The mystery continues.
Ancient shark species. With a lot of the underwater areas remaining unexplored, it was only a matter of time as they started coming out. Marine life enthusiasts that were on a dive off the coast of Arashima, Japan, were by the ocean floor, they discovered a large frilled shark with a gaping mouth. This shark species is believed to be an 80-million-year-old species that survived until today. According to marine biologists, these shark species, due to their very well evolutionary traits and uniquely evolved teeth, have helped them in survival. Though smaller than most other shark species, the grip that they have over the teeth is much stronger than any of its peer species.
You know, now that they say it, it does look older. Not just saying, it just has an older look, probably of the way things were back then, you know? But I've seen this, and I've never heard anybody reference that its species is 80 million years old. I never heard that. Wow.
Rare shade of dolphin. Unlike albino specimens, this discovery was especially fascinating. On September 23, 2021, a group of whale watchers were stunned by the sighting of a pink dolphin. Having never encountered such a marvel, the entire crew eagerly approached to capture it on camera. Many felt incredibly lucky to witness this extraordinary natural beauty. The sheer delight of spotting this rare creature was evident in the reaction of one observer. The dolphin's striking pink hue was further highlighted by the presence of its dark gray companions, making even the sight more captivating. Appearing unicorn. When the term unicorn itself is used to describe something that is never known to exist, is enough to know everyone's thoughts on it. An appearance of a unicorn animal was seen and recorded by an Instagram user who later shared it. Initially, he took it to be a white horse, until he noticed the pointy end at the top of its upper head. In another instance, a fully grown unicorn was seen during an event, but this case is largely being believed to be just a horse. Tasmanian Tiger. The Tasmanian tiger, an animal species that appeared like a hybrid of a wolf and a tiger, was last known to exist in the Hobart Zoo, with rare footage filmed in 1933 and uploaded online in September 2012, later colorized in 2021. Numerous studies have indicated that dingoes, which hunted in packs, were likely a leading cause of the Tasmanian tiger's extinction by outcompeting them. A 2013 study also revealed that intense human population growth, technological advances, and abrupt climate changes were significant contributing factors. The last two Tasmanian tigers died in captivity, and the species is now extinct. Mini sauropods. Sauropods are the only known dinosaurs with long necks, raising the question of whether these creatures could be their offspring. An unknown driver captured footage of a herd of tiny, like dinosaur creatures passing through a forest. Little is known about the incident, as the source remains anonymous. Speculation suggests these creatures might be the result of dinosaur eggs hatching due to climate change, or perhaps an undiscovered animal species. However, upon closer inspection, these turned out to be squirrels moving backward. Nonetheless, witnessing these creatures felt like a scene straight out of a Jurassic Park movie. Aggressive beastly being. From the looks of it, this creature appeared to be something between an animal and an alien. A livestock farmer in Texas, while riding his horse into a nearby wilderness with his dog, encountered this unknown life form. It came running, jumped at the man, knocked him off his horse, and scared the horse away. The dog attempted to confront the creature, but hesitated, concerned for its safety. Despite the aggressive encounter, the creature was kind enough to spare the farmer. Domesticated griffin. If you have any idea what a griffin is, you'd be left speechless of this footage. A griffin is a mythical creature with a lion's body and an eagle's head and wings, symbolizing strength and wisdom. One of these beings that were thought to have never existed before until a living one was recorded and shared. These creatures are prominent in ancient Greek, Roman, and medieval creatures, where it is seen as a guardian of treasures and a symbol of duality, blending the physical and spiritual realms. According to the upload, it was found and owned by a Saudi prince whose identity or name wasn't shared. The Dodo Bird.
Nah, I don't trust that thing. It's something about it. It's the look of it or something, but I don't trust that thing. Y'all trust that thing? It looks like it's just waiting on you to die so it can eat your dead flesh. That's what it looks like to me. Or it'll do it and then turn around and eat your dead foot. It'll take you out. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't trust it.
This bird species could easily be a long-distant cousin species of ducks. A footage dating to October 2022 shows a dodo bird closely inspecting a trail camera that was placed right in front of it. The dodo bird was a flightless bird native to Mauritius, thought to have gone completely extinct since the late 17th century. Standing about 3 feet tall, it had a bulky body, small wings, and a distinctive hooked beak. Human activity, including hunting and habitat destruction, led to its demise, making it a symbol of extinction. If this bird can be found, it certainly could be held with great care, with hopes of repopulating its kind. The living vampire.
She's found the legendary Chupacabra. Jackie Stock says her husband caught the mysterious creature Sunday night. There he is.
Though chupacabras are only thought of as a thing of folklore, incidents such as this would say otherwise. A farmer was passing through the wilderness of Nashville, Tennessee, when he noticed a canine-like animal, having recently lost a couple of livestock animals by a blood-sucking perpetrator. Having looked into Chupacabra, he was certain this animal matched the description of the mythical animal near Radnor Lake.
Now, back in the day, they used to tell us if that would have been a dog, they would have been like, oh, that dog got rabies or mange. Is it mange? Mange? That dog got the mange. However you say it, but that's what they would tell us, man, and stay away from that. And that's exactly what that Chupacabra thing looked like.
He immediately called in the animal control that was not able to catch this very animal, but did capture its young and was taken away. Extinct coelacanth found. Moments like these show that not all hope is lost. Yet, in mid-April 2012, a team of divers off the coast of South Africa were on a deep dive where they came face-to-face with a large coelacanth fish. The encounter left them shocked and intrigued at the same time by its size, color patterns, and general behavior. Coelacanths are rare, ancient lobe-fin fish, once thought extinct until the rediscovery. They inhabit deep underwater caves, making them elusive and difficult to find. Both species, Latimera chaumana and Latimera mendocis, are critically endangered due to bycatch and habitat disturbance. Ancient egg hatching. Unlike the dinosaurs, there never have been much evidence to prove past existence of dragons. Until this. A TikTok user filmed a unique-looking egg that was in the stages of hatching and shared it on his profile. By the end of the clip, an incredibly tiny-looking baby dragon that came out from the soft tissue textured egg. There were no details shared mentioning any whereabouts of the creature, which only made viewers even more curious of what it could be. However, since it looked like similar to that of a dragon, many started calling it one. Lastly, it seems that this new hatchling may not have survived. Observing Dunde. It is not just extraterrestrials to worry about, but also during a school swimming competition in Oklahoma City in May 2021, one of the parents there noticed this tiny animal sitting on a ledge, calmly observing the pool area. Initially, it was thought to be a cat, until a closer inspection with a camera revealed that it was something else entirely. Footage quickly spread, and many started calling it a Dunde. Surprisingly, the creature wasn't bothering anyone, and no one seemed jealous that it had the best seat in the house. Meddling Yeti. Of all the people or animals that you may know of to inspect your belongings, having a Yeti would be the last thing you'd have expected. On May 15, 2022, in the Russian wilderness, a group of friends captured a one-of-a-kind Yeti sighting. While camping, they returned from gathering firewood to find a huge white-furred Yeti rummaging through their belongings, likely searching for food. The Yeti accidentally sprayed its eyes with a can of pepper spray, becoming instantly distressed and aggressive. In its confusion, it nearly stumbled onto the campers before tripping and falling down the hill.
Now, what are the odds, right? Let's just say what are the odds if this was real? You come across a Yeti, but not only that, a clumsy Yeti at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are the odds? Like, no, they gotta stop it. Chill.
Господи! Ой ты, батюшки мои, боже!
Unexpected tree tenant. Rodents, owls, and even snakes are known to live or have burrows in a tree. This unexpected tenant seems to have done the same. A hiker was on his way back from the trail until he took notice of a very unfamiliar-looking entity that was watching him standing by the tree burrow opening. He mentioned it to be a kind of goblin creature, known only as part of folklore, but here he saw one standing right in front of him. Unfortunately, since it was getting dark, the camera barely picked up a poor, blurry visual. Offloading Triceratops. This video appears to be one of those instances where the government conceals the truth from the public. The footage went viral after being leaked by an anonymous uploader in January 2014, showing a huge living Triceratops Dinosaur. The ancient animal was offloaded from a transport truck by a group of men in Indonesia. Reports suggest the dinosaur was partially drugged to prevent it from escaping or exhibiting aggressive behavior, despite being a herbivorous species.
Man, if that was a real dinosaur, they wouldn't even be able to just hang on. That thing would be slinging them everywhere. Stop it, bro. There's no way. Like, no. Those things were way too strong and powerful.
Washed ashore Megalodon. Speaking of dinosaurs and all other known or unknown animals that have gone extinct, finding a Megalodon was only a matter of time. Beachgoers in Australia discovered this massive carcass of marine, best described as Megalodon, that got washed ashore in October 2013. Before the incident could get to the public knowledge, the carcass was immediately removed from the beach by beach officials, and onlookers were forced to delete any of the pictures and videos they took of it. However, a drone nearby did manage to record it, which was later shared on the internet. Rare Cayman specimen found.
My God, big real Apiporus Cayman, Johnny. Look at this!
A crocodile hunter and expert that was tracking these ambush predators' feeding and mating behavior when he found a very rare species of cayman called the Rio Apiporus.
Look at that. There's a real Apiporus Cayman sitting right on the bank right there.
Its existence was believed to be only mythical, along with its existence is largely believed to be anecdotal, having no concrete scientific evidence. All the while, this was a fascinating find, despite facing threats from habitat destruction, human activity, and climate change, putting it at risk of extinction. Hopefully, if another of the opposite gender can be found, conservation efforts could be made. Trail Velociraptor. Unlike all the carnivore animals in the wild, Velociraptor is one of the fastest and ferocious predators, even being a juvenile. A trail camera that was set up in the woods of Michigan started recording after motion sensors were triggered. Seconds after the camera was on, a fast-running baby Velociraptor appeared passing by only inches away from the camera. It kept on running back and forth, either out of confusion or perhaps was just lost and trying to find its way back. Possible cryptid in distress. A ranch owner close to an undisclosed location by a forest in Mexico was looking around after hearing unintelligible noises in the woods. Out of curiosity, he decided to investigate, having only a flashlight at hand. He started walking into the woods. For almost a minute, he didn't see or spot the source of the sound until this tiny cryptid appeared with the most friendly face and best mood. It appeared slowly, gently gripping the tree, looking at the owner without making any sudden moves. At this point, the clip cuts off, probably as the recorder must have fled from the scene. Unveiling sea serpent. Had this prehistoric sea serpent remained masked underwater for just a bit longer, it certainly could have wreaked havoc. beachgoers in an undisclosed location were surprised by the sudden sighting of a sea serpent. It came as close to the beach as possible, being in shallow water, while trying to avoid getting beached. The fact that it had every chance to go on a feeding frenzy with the visitors shows that it wanted to make a good first impression. The name of the beach was not shared by the source to avoid curious visitors crowding the beach. Open discussion.
Mystery of whether Scotland's infamous Loch Ness monster is real or myth is a long one.
This picture and video was captured on August 27, 2023, by a fisherman showing a dinosaur-like animal in a river close to the Amazon River forest. According to the source, it suddenly breached the surface and was visible only for a couple of seconds, and he only managed to get 2 pictures of it. While he believes it to be largely a dinosaur, netizens were convinced that this, in fact, was a Loch Ness monster that was seen from the closest ever before in history. However, the exact nature of this animal, who has a prehistoric vibe written all over it, is not known.